Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we're going to do a live stream. Basically what the weather discussion means, basically we talk about different varieties of weather, like the tropics and severe weather, all kinds of different stuff, or pattern changes, all that type of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff to talk about. I just want to do this in a live stream. We got some severe weather going on. We got the tropics are really starting to act up again. We'll definitely take a look into that. I got some news a little bit. Hopefully we can get some people to join this live stream here tonight. I'm starting to gain some subscribers again. It's pretty nice. I've been neutral for a very long time, so. This winter forecast has reached, let's see, currently it's got 245 views. It's been a while since I've reached that. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, I figure we're going to start off the main story right now, and that is going to be the tropics. So we're going to take a look into the National Hurricane Center. I'm going to try to get chat to load up onto my phone, but so far the live stream has not been on here yet. So National Hurricane Center. So we have Tropical Depression 9 going on. Oh wow, we got 3 different ones, don't we? Look at that. That's getting pretty active here. There's a lot of moisture going on in the main development region. Anything can happen. But the shear, I think that's what's keeping all this activity down, because that looks like we're just going to get attacked. But you can tell a couple of these has a low percent chance. But this guy back here has got a better chance than both of these. But we're really focused on Tropical Depression 9. It's got 30 mile per hour winds. There is a change of the forecast. It's not going to affect. There is still a chance that could affect Florida, but looking into the National Hurricane Center's track, it looks like it's not going to affect it. Let's see here. Let's take a look into the cone. As you can see here, very sharp curves. So there is a tropical storm watch for parts of Florida. I don't think evacuations are going to be needed for this one, but Bermuda is going to have to watch this very closely. It seems like at least this is not going to be like Hurricane Dorian again. It's going to gain strength slowly because of slightly below average water temperatures for Dorian, so it'll definitely gain strength as it gets closer to Bermuda, where there has not been a tropical system yet. Alrighty. See if you guys said anything yet. No, you haven't. Okay. So let's go and get on into this. We're going to look into models. So here's their wind speed probabilities here. Right now it's pretty low, but you can see the highest percent chances will be in the red. That is 70 to 80% chance for tropical storm wind probability. At this point, the hurricane probability is still low. Let's see here. Rainfall potential. Seems like the best chance of rainfall is just going along the coast. Could see 2 to 4 inches of rain there. By the look at the forecast. This is from the weather center right here. So they got a slight risk for flash flooding from Myrtle Beach all the way back down to near Daytona Beach. I do not really know that part of the East Coast that well, so I do apologize for that. But this thing will start to move fairly quickly. So let's go ahead and move on to look into some models here. see what the tracks are going to be. Okay, the hurricane models are just, it's very compact, so I think we know where this thing's going, but wow. Look at this here from the GFS ensembles. Talking about pressure between 940 and 950. Wow. It's ridiculous there. The intensity guidance, the Bermuda is probably the only island to watch at this point. Evacuations may be needed soon. It'll be there eventually. It could miss it to the north. That's kind of my thinking there. So Invest 96L. We're starting to get hurricane models in, as you can tell here. Not many. You can see it's pretty disorganized at this point. Not many thunderstorms, but you can see a couple models are bringing to tropical storm territory. It seems like they'll just hit Mexico at this point. So not too much going on into the tropics, not just yet. It will get busier later on. So right now it seems like Florida may not be affected by this, at least for the center of the storm, but they can get some rain from it. Severe weather threat, well, the tornado threat's probably going to be on the lower end side because of how it's going to be a weak system. So let's go ahead and move on to something else. Let's look into the SPC for severe weather wise. So tonight we got a slight risk going on for parts of Michigan and Ohio. There is currently a line of severe thunderstorms going on there. Of what I've seen so far, the tornado threat it actually upgraded to a 5% there. Wind probabilities are definitely there. The hail is going to be a little bit lower. Let's move on to day 2. We got 2 areas of marginal risk. Got one in Arizona, probably for the monsoon threat. Oh wait, there's actually 3 of them. We got 3 marginal risk areas. One in Arizona, one for parts of Florida. I'm sure that's for the tornado threat. Like, again, I'll say it's probably a low-end threat. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Nebraska could see potential severe weather. The probabilities are going to be low at this time. Day 3, there's a marginal risk for parts of Georgia and Florida that is going to be from potentially tropical storm. I don't really know its name. Well, we'll find out later. And the 4 to 8 day outlook, I don't think there's anything to watch. Well, there is stuff to watch. Let's go ahead and look into the upcoming pattern change. Let's look into GFS. See what it's got on this. I'm kind of watching severe weather closely. We're going to look into the jet stream first. Seems like the jet stream is not going to be that severe out on the plains than it actually was, but it seems like it's starting. The severe weather threat is creeping a little bit for parts of the east. There, definitely a lot of rain too. Since we got a lot of cold air coming in, creating some condensation going up in the atmosphere. Got warm air going over cold air. You mix those things together, you create clouds, create some instability. Hello, you're going to load. It's definitely going to be wet, but it's still too far out to tell. Okay, something's been going on with the internet here lately. I don't know what's wrong with it. Here we go. So here's what's currently. So you got potential severe weather right now for parts of Ohio and Michigan later tonight. Tomorrow, I don't think there's nothing too much serious until Monday. Here comes a trough coming into the northwest here, as you can see here. That starts to flatten out up into the north. Then here comes this nasty trough coming in. This is going to be something that can create some pretty big trouble. We got high pressure going on. Right now, currently, it'd be over the Ohio Valley at this point. You can tell by the isobars. Very strong trough. It seems like that kind of dies down, then a new trough tries to develop. That looks to be very interesting. Yeah, look at that, man. Do not know what to say about this. The Cape is a bit of a question. It seems like we could see pretty decent severe weather September 23rd for Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. That's a definite look for some severe weather there. As we continue on into Tuesday, severe weather chances push us into Arkansas, Missouri, Louisiana, and still parts of Texas. We move on into Wednesday. Seems like severe weather will be a little bit further south here. Probably talking about Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Maybe even parts of Florida. Then Thursday, severe weather really starts to kick into gear. Probably talking about severe weather chances for Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee. As we go into Friday, seems like it starts to flatten out. Another nasty trough coming in from the Rockies, man. That is a very active pattern there. Let's look into let's see if we can get any potential supercells, because that's a severe weather kind of look there. The thing is, some of the ingredients are in place for some severe weather. The thing is that the Cape is pretty low. That's what's been showing so far. I can only show you only one model that could go that far out. The Euro is starting to catch up. We've just got to wait a few more days till the Euro can actually show it. I actually forgot to look into the Euro. For the tropics. We'll take a look into that. This could load. Welcome to anybody that is joining here in stream here this evening. Yeah, there is just something wrong. I feel like it's just the amount of tabs that's kind of in effect there. Levi Cohen, the owner of Tropical Tidbits, has uploaded a video. I'll probably take a look at that. I always rely on him for weather updates. You know what? That is September the 21st there. That's actually a pretty good setup for severe weather for Minnesota. A couple of these days here is been, while the severe weather threat's low, is the capping. That prevents storm development. We'll see if it's the case on this one. And it's not the case. We could definitely see some supercells from this sounding. Potential tornado. As you can see here, looks like the tornado threat looks to be pretty low at this point. But it seems like there is a chance of a EF3 or even an EF4 plus. So if we've got to keep an eye on, there's a chance for EF0 to EF5 on this one. Just from that forecast sounding. That kind of fades away. See? I think it's the Cape again. You can see there is a chance for severe weather for Alabama there. Let's take a look into that. Marginal severe. Alright. It definitely shows some severe hail. It actually does show some decent cape values and even potential supercell threat. Seems like the tornado threat is fairly low at this time. Marginal severe, I think we could see some severe weather there. You can see it pushes off to the east. You can see the severe weather threat actually does stick around for parts of the southeast for some time. See, there's a little higher threat for Georgia and South Carolina. The equinox is pretty low. It's a little bit closer down to the surface. It's not up in the atmosphere. There is still potential for supercells and severe hail. Tornado threat still very low. At that point, that moves on. Let's kind of do some backtracking here. Let's look into this day. This is September 24th. You always got to pick the highest spot. Marginal severe, some severe hail. So there is decent cape values now. The tornado threat's very low. So I think there is a chance of hail and damaging winds for all these days here. But it's kind of low. Let's see what Oklahoma's looking like. Very low threat. Kind of surprised. I think that could be a little bit higher. If the NAM was showing that, then it's probably going to be ridiculously high. Let's see here. Definitely something going on near the surface. It seems like there's a lower cape value there. Where I'm looking at for cape is right here. Y'all can see my mouse here. I'll show you guys it. Okay, that's not a good color. Hold on. This is near the surface here. Your cape is right here. 1,707. That's cape near the surface. So basically, how many days? Let's look into this day. This is what I've been seeing for a few times. Winds just going straight down into the surface there, man. I don't know what that indicates there. When you see wind bars going straight down, that's kind of like very low pressure going on. Let me know in the comments or in the chat about that, because I'm not sure what this indication shows. Oh, wait. The winds are very strong. They're going up. Oh. So you're talking about very strong updrafts. So they're basically what they're showing is if you got these wind bars like in the downward end that's showing winds are going up. If they're the opposite here, those are winds going down straight into the surface. That's like a hurricane. This is like a hurricane, but this is a complete opposite. You got heat rising there into this atmosphere, which I think that's heat kind of taking over and kind of losing some of that cooler air. But we could probably see some really tall thunderstorms, so that is a possibility. Let's go a little north. Okay, well, we can't do that area then. Let's see. What else can we look into? Let's look into velocity. Not velocity, vorticity. Into this. I'm really interested with this stuff. I'm not really interested in hurricanes that much. This is why I kind of go into more detail in severe weather stuff. I guess it's more interesting to me than it is with hurricanes. Oh, yeah. Okay. I was about to say. See, here comes the first trough there. That kind of flattens out. Here comes the next trough right here. There's definitely enough vorticity there for some severe weather territory right there. You can see severe weather potential actually increases into Tennessee, Kentucky there. With the vorticity values that high. Look at that nasty trough, but this is very far out, but that is fairly interesting there. Basically what you got going on, you got potential supercells coming from Florida and kind of wrapping around this thing here, moving north. So, this is still 7 to watch. We'll see what the Cape values are with this. We're also going to add in sign into this picture. So Cape is a very important ingredient for creating some of this severe weather type of stuff. We're going to look pretty in detail with this. Marginal severe. Let's go a little bit further north where that highest vorticity is. Kind of like there. Alright. Pretty much the same thing. You don't have all the ingredients in place. What is going on outside my window? I hear a car horn. The neighbors. There's something else. So that's a pretty good forecast sounding right there. Let's move away severe weather a little bit. Let's go back into the tropics. I forgot to show you the guys the Euro. We're going to turn on Winga so we can actually see this better. So far, the GFS is doing catch-up, so it's going to be weaker than it actually is. Moves north. Bermuda is right here. But it seems like it will miss it to the north. We'll see what the comparison is. Okay, seems like it will miss them. Alright, let's move south here. Let's look into these two of these here. Gonna have twins there. It looks like they're not gonna do anything from the Euro. See what the potential rainfall is. The amount of rain. Seems like the Bahamas will be okay. Dominican Republic may even get some tropical rains. If we look into the United States, oh boy, a lot of people are just dry. Here in Kentucky, we need rain. Badly, we need rain. We're in a moderate drought right now. And we're still forecasted to be dry for the next 10 days. It's pretty ridiculous. Boy, oh boy, it's just dry here. You can see we're not the only ones that are going to be dry. You can see the highest amounts looks to be up in the northwest there. We'll see if there's any snow in question. And you know what? There is actually some snow going on. That's probably where the troughs are coming in. See if the GFS has got. Yep. We had first winter weather advisories a couple days ago in the Rockies. Something pretty interesting. What do we want to move on next? I think the tropics are starting to get less interesting at this point, since Tropical Depression 9 is looking to have no threat to land. Well, wherever it passes the Bahamas, they will have no threat to land for the most part. You still got Bermuda to watch. And these islands here too. Probably have to watch it as well. So yeah. So y'all may be wondering, there's a new tool I'm using for making weather maps. Y'all have seen it a couple times. It's Scribble Maps. I'm not sponsored by them, but I wish I was. That would have been awesome. This is something, it's not that easy to use. It's actually kind of difficult a little bit to make forecast maps on. The only problem I have with this, apparently you can log in to save maps. I've tried that, but now my username password is not working. I'm kind of ashamed of. But you can do a lot of things here. You can draw things, like for example, there's going to be a heat wave across these states here. If I want to make a map about it, you can change this color. You can fill it in. Put in a text there. You can put it in all caps. Heat wave. Right there. You could do stuff like that. And that's what I'm planning on to do on my next winter 2019-20 forecast, which is actually not far away, because the Jamstack and the CanSips model, they both updated. They both update once a month. I looked into models. There's going to be actually some big changes for parts of the West there. There's actually some good news for parts of the West. Just a sneak peek of just giving all hints of my next forecast. It's going to be, some people may disagree and some may agree on this. On my next winter forecast, the West, some parts of the West can probably have some relief after looking at latest models. Like, I can show you guys, I mean, like I said, I can do thoughts, but I'm not going to put out a forecast. I mean, let's look into the Jamstack model. That's the model I've been waiting for quite some time. This model here, I think, is one of the best models out there for a long range. You can tell it's updated on the last update. It was on the August update. So now we're in the September update. And what it looks like for fall at this point, we got very warm waters going for parts of the West here, well, in the Northern Pacific, which creates a ridging for most of the West. Looks like we got a Greenland block going on up north. And we also got high pressure over Alaska. This indicates some very cold weather could potentially happen for parts of the east. We can look into precipitation. Here you can see most of the United States is looking to either be average or above average there. Now the surface air temperatures, however, seems like it's going to be below average for parts of the Mississippi Valley there. Well, River Valley, I should say. Looking into that, you can see the north is staying very warm. We can go ahead and look into winter. So here's winter. You can tell the warm water has backed off quite a bit, but up around Greenland, you can tell it is still warming up. It's still very warm. That gives an indication of a negative NAO, which what that does is that creates a trough coming in for parts of the central and eastern United States. There. The West is going to be in question here. I think the West is going to be the most difficult part here because of this warm body of water. going on in here. Since we got warmer waters going on for the Northwest could stay maybe a little bit warm and potentially be dry, but what a 10 is what's looking like the Northwest could actually be having normal temperatures and maybe some slightly above average precipitation for a change there. But for parts of the Southwest there, it's looking to be staying dry there, just not much of anything going on there. We can look into precipitation here. You can tell the Northwest looking to be, well, most of the West, I should say, is looking to be a little bit wetter than average, and it includes parts of the Central and the Northern and the Northeast there. Parts of the Southeast is as well. Parts of Texas and Arkansas there looking to be a little bit dry, a little bit on the dry side. You all ready for this? The surface air temperatures. Boom. There we go. What this is indicating is the interesting part I can already see here is Greenland's actually a little bit cooler than average. I'm kind of surprised by that. We can tell Alaska is warm, most of Canada is warm. But you can tell most of the United States is actually going to be below average temperatures. You can tell the West is actually not that bad above average at all. It's actually kind of close to neutral conditions. Even Nevada is starting to show some below average temperatures. Now, this is all from one model, so this can change. This is going to update 2 or 3 times before winter is here. So, same for the CAN-SIPS model. Both of those models updates once a month. You can tell here, looks like the polar vortex could be for portions of the northern United States or the central United States here. We're seeing the darker blues there. You're talking about negative 1.5 degrees. I'm going to guess that isn't Celsius. They're below average there. Definitely indicates of a cold winter. Now keep in mind, what I've learned for the past few years that the East has been kind of staying warm, but the precipitation though has been a little bit higher. But the temperatures from last year has been warm, especially for the Southeast. I know how we got it wrong last year. That's because it was not a Modoki El Nino last year. Wherever the predictions, we were thinking it was going to be Modoki El Nino, which that indicates is a cooler than average and snowier winter for parts of the East, and the West could be a little bit warmer and probably a little bit dry, but that was the complete opposite. We do get parts of the North correct. The North did have some below average temperatures there, but I was off completely by snowfall and precipitation. They had way above average snowfall there, which is good for them. But at some point, since parts of the East, most of the East is staying warm and dry, at this point, at some time, it's going to even out. So you're talking about a couple months and later in time that the East could be colder and wetter, while the West could be dry and hot. You're talking about last winter. It could be the complete opposite this year, which has been really looking like it. I think this will be an easier forecast than last year. Pretty much everybody's forecast is the same, including mine. We have the same idea for what is looking to be like a very nice winter for most folks for across the United States. Even the West is looking to be a little bit better here. So we looked into the Jamstack. This is what is. It seems like the precipitation is going to be something in question. Now I'm going to show you. No, we're not going to do that. That'd be terrible. That would end the live stream. So let's look into the CFS monthly. We're going to do this in averaged out. We're going to average this out. So here's winter. Gotta keep an eye on the black lines here. So this is the CFS. You can tell there is a trough going on in the east, and we actually got ridging for parts of the southwest there. So there is agreement here with the jam stack from the CFS. If you're going to look at 2-meter temperature anomalies, it's going to look completely different. But what I've kind of learned, just focus on this. This will give you a better idea of what can happen here. This is the hard part. Look at this. This should be the complete opposite here. I think these models here have a hard time with precipitation. I completely disagree with this pretty much altogether, except for the northwest. Because what the models has been looking like, especially from the jam stack, with that warmer than average temperatures probably staying a little bit offshore, which it can make the jet stream go through the northwest. We're probably talking about the jet stream. Let me get my pin out. We're probably talking about jet stream coming from parts of Canada there, going for the northeast. This is my kind of idea here. We can see the jet stream probably going something like this here, or this different track could be something like this here. And you can kind of get clipper systems kind of going in like this, and a combination of a potential winter storm somewhere in this area here in particular. Now, the snowiest part could be for parts of these areas here can have a really nice winter here. With cooler than average temperatures and potentially snow, and that's kind of hot here. So, my question is it either going to go Route 1 or it's going to go on Route 2? I think Route 2 is going to be a little bit further north. For Route 2, for that to happen, you got to have a polar vortex be like right here. So, let's erase all this stuff. I'm sure y'all kind of get my thinking. My thinking is we can have some average or slightly above average precipitation here. Drier than normal here. Definitely wetter than normal for these spots. For pretty much... Okay, that was a mess. Probably wetter than normal for probably everybody in here could be wetter than normal. This is going to be probably a flip-flop pattern for the west here. That's why the west is going to kind of be on a wild card here. I think we got an idea what the north is going to be like. If you're going to be seeing way below average, well below average temperatures, then there's a chance you can see clippers go by, but it's not going to produce that much snow. You can probably see what snowfall totals from a clipper 1 to 3 inches. They kind of move a little bit quicker, but where we can see best snowfall totals is kind of like to be a little bit inland, not along the coast, but a little bit inland there. That's what everybody's idea has been so far here. That's what I think it's been as well. So, let's look into the CAN-SIPS model. Still the same thing here. Very similar. But the difference here with this, pretty much everybody is below average with precipitation. Let's look into the heights here. This kind of changes up stuff. You got a ridge going on for parts of the northwest here. You got a nice trough going on into the east. Now, seems like the CFS and the CAN-SIPS model have a good agreement on this. It's just the precipitation is going to be in question here a little bit. That's why I'm saying the west, or the northwest, I should say, could have a flip-flop type of pattern where they could see some days could be below average or some days could be above average. Precipitation, basically the same thing. Just basically a flip-flop pattern throughout the entire season here. Parts of the east here probably has a better chance for being a colder and snowy winter. I think the north would get all the cold for the most part. The southeast can get all the wetness. the Southwest can get all the warm and dry air conditions. So yeah, I think I'm going to be done with winter in this live stream here. Probably expect an updated winter forecast sometime this month. Since the Jam-Site Kansas Ball both updated, I can have an updated outlook there. By the way, thanks for the, never mind on that. So yeah, y'all guys got any questions here before this live stream does end? Talked about winter, talked about fall, talked about tropics, we talked about the severe weather, we talked about a lot of things here on one live stream. That catches up with the schedule. The problem is, nobody doesn't really watch it. That kind of makes me sad. But the way my channel's growing, I think we can get some viewers later on eventually. I just feel like it's the titles that just doesn't really make anybody interested in there. So you guys got any questions? My mouth is hurting from talking a lot. We can have some map and upgrades for the next winter forecast. Hopefully everyone likes it better. Trying to make my winter forecast be better and accurate here. Those are both. Accuracy is the key thing here. Number one key for doing this stuff. If you're very accurate with your forecast, if you get all them right, you could probably get a lot of subscribers and views and a lot of revenue. There you can have job opportunities there for the meteorology department. That's my goal. Be accurate, get a decent amount of people, get enough ad revenue so I can continue to do stuff like this. Man, I got plans for the future. We just gotta hope I can get those goals. I mean, I'm trying my best here. There's just days where I'm down. Can I really make videos? There's days I feel like I don't really want to do videos, and there's days I really like to do a video. That's what you call being burned out. People mentioned about that a few times, where YouTubers gets a week off from YouTube. So yeah, I guess you're all going to say not any questions. So I'm going to end the live stream here. Hopefully you enjoyed this word discussion. We can do stuff more like this if y'all do enjoy this. The only way you can probably let me know if you enjoy this is probably hit that like button. If y'all guys really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. If y'all got any questions, if y'all missed the live stream, you can put in the comment section down below. Voice crack. I'll answer you guys' questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next